It's that time again. Time for another episode. And no, I did not get electrocuted. I was born with this. I'm Leslie Dellery, and you're watching Being Millennial-ish. If you have not watched last week's episode, cover your eyes and your ears and shut off this episode. Or maybe you can't do that if you're covering your eyes and your ears. But regardless, go back and watch it because today is a continuation from last week of our social media experiment. Last week we had 5 participants who told us about their social media habits. Our participants have been off social media for 7 days. 7 whole days. How many things can you do for 7 days? I can't make it through a diet. So, are you ready? Let's see what they had to say. So how was it?
It was interesting.
Went quick, I guess. I was definitely very aware of it the whole time.
I honestly think I really liked it.
The first few days, maybe like the first 3 days were the most difficult ones because I realized that when I was working and I was a bit tired and exhausted, just I had a few minutes to myself, so I wanted to check it.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, no.
It was hard at first because I had a lot of events like happening at the same time. First I had a wedding, then there was a cruise, and then there was like a lot of friend gathering, and so I had all these pictures that I couldn't post on Facebook. So I was like, what do I do in my life?
Facebook was actually really easy to give up.
Okay.
Instagram was a bit tougher just because I used it, I think, a lot more.
It was
Okay.
like really relieving just to like enjoy the moment and like not want to take a picture of everything.
Yep.
I actually just didn't really have any desire to take a photo because I didn't have anywhere to put it, which is kind of weird.
Okay. Did you find it hard to stay off?
I mean, it wasn't like I was, jonesing to get back on, but like I said before, it's definitely like a boredom thing for me, and so I had to travel this week for work, and I had a delayed flight, and I'm like, man, like it would be good to just burn 20 minutes.
And
It
did
was
you
kinda
delete the apps or did you just not go on?
Yeah, I knew I had to. Because
Okay.
if I see like out of sight, out of mind, so I just removed them so I wouldn't be tempted.
Did you get close to cheating at all? Like, were there any points where you're like, just couldn't?
No, I mean,
Resist
I was
or-
never like, I'm just gonna look. Like, that was never the case.
Well, and I did actually re-download it yesterday. The reason I did was because growing up in England and everything going on with the Brexit,
Yeah.
Facebook, I realized, is actually such a source of information to all of my friends. And they were like, my sister had said, have you seen everything on Facebook, what's going on at home? Like, everybody's talking about it.
Okay.
I just thought, this is going to give me more insight than the news is going to. And I went on, and it was just like,
Blowing up.
I completely forgot about like a party that was this weekend because it was a Facebook event. And so I had to get reminded by someone because I didn't have that.
Did it feel weird to not be able to post and get kind of validation of how exciting your event was?
It was super depressing. I was like,
Really?
I was like, I'm having such a good time and no one knows.
In general mood, like, do you feel any different? Do you feel, how was your focus this week? How was, just general connectedness with friends?
I think unlike to my closer friends, more connected because I was like texting them a lot more and I called them, which is like something I would normally do.
I think I was more calm,
Okay.
which is really weird because
Yeah.
I realized that so when I have a few minutes, I want to go and check Facebook just because I have a few minutes free. But then once I kind of realized that there's no few minutes to check Facebook, I said, you know what, those 2 minutes I'll go and just walk around my room or
Yep.
just do something else. And after a while I got used to doing that, I thought, hey, I'm feeling just a bit calmer and a bit like, okay, my day is progressing a bit slower,
Yeah.
and that's helping me just to deal with things more effectively.
I think I felt the same. It didn't
Okay.
really change much.
At work, actually this week, it was great because like whenever things were like loading, taking forever to load on my computer, I would like go and read an article or like learn something new.
So you became more educated.
yeah, I became more educated in a way.
Interesting.
having not been on Facebook really all week, it didn't change me at all.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, like FOMO or like, what's going on, or
And I remember last time you said that that's how you find out your news sources. So did you feel like you were in a black hole because you weren't able to check this?
well, once I committed to doing it, I realized there's no getting into it. So I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna like stress about, oh, like what am I missing out on, because I know I can't access it.
How did you find out about the news?
Well, I started listening to the radio more, so I
Okay.
think finding better ways to to be informed.
Would you consider changing your social media habits based on taking a week off?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm probably not going to turn it back on for a while.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Yeah.
I could definitely see myself like taking Facebook off my phone and like not going on it every day. I don't think that would really bother me. I mean, I really like Instagram. I think it's just an easy way to stay connected. So I don't really think it's that negative.
I wouldn't say that I would give it up again, because with so much of my family and friends back in London, that
Yeah.
it is hard not being on it, because then I feel like I have lost that firm
And
connection.
it's harder
with
just
them.
to keep connected, and people don't make that extra effort.
Yeah.
I've noticed how much often I go back for the past 2 days, and I noticed that I haven't been checking Facebook as often.
Okay.
And for me, that's a huge thing, because I realized, wow, I thought I really needed it.
Well, there you have it. Some interesting responses from our participants. And I can't say I'm completely surprised about some of the answers. I too am starting to look at my habits and question how much time I spend on these different platforms. Here's my challenge for you. Try going off social media for a day, 2 days, see if you can make it a full week. I think you'll find out some interesting things about yourself along the way. See you next time.